Hi everyone, Suzanne Ullman here, heart failure nurse in San Antonio, Texas, originally from Nebraska, and I am pleased to welcome my guest host today, Chapo, also known as El Chapo Guzman Loera. I don't know how long he'll be staying. I have a feeling once he realizes he's being filmed, he is going to go hide. But that is how we all know El Chapo Guzman to be. Lots of time under things, lots of times in tunnels. He was born underneath our neighbor's home. Today's topic is medication and how another way to feel like you're taking control of your health in this very unsteady, unstable time is to have a really good working knowledge of the meds you're taking. And if you don't feel like you can memorize all of their strange names, dosages, and times you're taking them, make yourself a chart. Carry it in your wallet, carry it on your phone, and have a family member, if you have one, also have a copy, so that should someday, for some reason, a paramedic come into your home or an ER doctor talk to you when you're having trouble talking for yourself, someone else can say what you're taking, and that can help them know how to treat you, okay? This is just something we should all do, no matter if there's a pandemic or not. And I always commend patients for coming to their appointments with a medication list and a working knowledge of what they're taking and why. We need to become active participants in our health. We cannot rely on a healthcare system that is overtaxed to know what we should know about our own bodies, okay? It's kind of upsetting. It's a new paradigm we're landing in without being prepared to do it, but I know within each human being that might watch this, you have the capacity to do that, because I treat patients of all races, creeds, colors, ages, economic backgrounds, educational backgrounds. It doesn't, none of that is an excuse for not knowing. And most of my patients have gotten really good at being able to articulate what they're taking and why. It's basically like doing your times tables. It's quite doable. Right, Chapo? Okay, so we're going to talk quickly about generic versus brand. So every med in the world was developed scientifically and come up with a generic name, and then someone branded it so they could make some money off of it. That's another topic. And so we have brand names and generic names. Here's an example that's outside of meds. Kleenex. Kleenex is tissue. Hand me a tissue. But what do we most often say? Do you have any Kleenex? Well, Kleenex is the brand. Tissue is the generic name for what that is. Visual aid time. Get ready. Tylenol. It's a brand name. What is the generic name? Acetaminophen, or in Great Britain, paracetamol. Okay? Tylenol. Acetaminophen. Okay. Easily mixed up with aspirin. That is different, okay? Aspirin is the generic name. I have it down here at the bottom. Bayer aspirin. Not a lot of aspirin. Bayer still makes aspirin, but most times you can just buy it as aspirin now. Some other common ones. Motrin is the brand. Ibuprofen is the generic. Aleve is the brand. Naproxen is the generic. Benadryl, the brand. Diphenhydramine. Just common lunchtime language. Diphenhydramine is the generic for Benadryl. Okay? So, brand versus generic. These are all over-the-counter meds. It's easy to get mixed up, but the most important one to know right now in cold and flu meds is acetaminophen. Now, here's your homework assignment. I've made myself a chart. And on the chart, I put the medication name, both brand and generic. I've put what it's for. I've put the dose that I take and the time that I take it, okay? So I take Lexapro, which is also known as escitalopram. Doesn't that sound like some weird summer camp in the Poconos or something? Yeah, I sent my kids to escitalopram last summer. They didn't really like it. I don't know. 20 milligrams is my dose. I take it for anxiety and depression, and I take it once in the evening. That was a 1. Okay, the next one I take is called Bistolic. That sounds like a strange planet from Star Trek. Also known as Nebivolol. No comment. So, I take that for heart rate. I take 10 milligrams. I take it once in the evening. If you have a medication that you take twice a day, once in the morning, once in the evening, you would put 1 a.m., 1 p.m., okay? I want you to do that for all your prescription meds, even the ones that you take as needed. That's another one I have here, Xanax, also known as alprazolam. I take that for anxiety. I take 0.25 milligrams and I take it as needed. So that's your homework. Learn your meds, learn to be able to talk about them and why you take them, for what the problem is. If you have any questions, please ask me in the comment section or send me a private message. Chapo also, he seriously looks like a bouncer right now. I want you to know he's the most gentle, unbelievable little mustache cat that's ever lived. And there's a lot of anxiety. There's a lot of feeling of absolute fear right now. But this is also a situation where knowledge is power. And so re-engaging with your intuition and your intellectual knowledge about your own health and medication is going to help you feel a little bit more grounded. I promise that. Okay, more to come.